Hello, happy Wednesday. Let me just make sure that I am live. And I am. Very good. So, happy Wednesday. Carol Buckalew with Inky Stampers. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And happy to have you here today if you're watching. I have an easy fun fold card for you today. Hey Akiko, thanks so much for joining. And it uses the beautiful balloons, stamp set and dies, as well as the bright and beautiful 6x6 designer series paper. And you can see I've been using this paper quite a bit. Hey Faith, thanks so much for joining. But the beautiful balloon stamp set and then the coordinating dies, you know, pretty much anything to do with the celebration. This is the stamp set you'd like to put in your supplies. Some great sentiments. I think it's time for a celebration. Let's get our celebration on. Happy birthday. You did it. Yay, you. So thrilled for you. And then we've got a streamer and some confetti. And then 3 different size balloons that you can stamp along with a little balloon string or a streamer. So just a really fun set. And then the coordinating dies have a few extra little things, a couple of stars that you can die cut, a sentiment label, some confetti, and then these, of course, cut out the shapes of the balloons. And then this long die right here can actually be set up so that it cuts fringe on, you know, your cardstock or your designer series paper. And that's a lot of fun. I haven't played with that one yet, but I need to. So let's get started here. So this is our card, and this is a super easy fun fold. Yes, Faith, this, the beautiful balloon set makes perfect graduation cards for sure. And I think it's, you know, the balloons and the bright paper are just fun for any age. It can be young or old. I don't think it matters, you know. But like I said, I have an easy fun fold card here. And I'm going to show you how I made this. And let's get started. So I've got a card base here, a standard card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5. Whoops, I just knocked my camera. Hold on. Bear with me. I went to pull my scoring board over and I knocked the camera stand. Sorry about that. When I'm making fun folds, I like to use the scoring board just because I think you get maybe some better folds, some more accurate folds, put it that way. I do my best on my paper trimmer, and we have a scoring tool in our paper trimmer, and I love using that. But when I'm doing fun folds, I like to use the scoreboard. And so I am, so this is 8.5 by 5.5, and I am going to score this at 2 1/8. And let me make sure that I'm getting it right. That looks right. So 2 1/8. I kind of have it away from me, so I'm having trouble seeing the numbers. And then 4 1/4 inches. So 4 1/4. And hopefully, because I'm not right on top of this and seeing those lines exactly like I need to, hopefully I got this right. Tell you here in a minute. I did. Very good. Let me put the scoreboard away. So, standard A2 size fold card. I just folded a valley fold on the 4 1/4 marking. And I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder just to burnish that fold really well. And then the 2 1/8 score line, I'm going to fold back for a mountain fold. So you can see mountain, and then valley. And let me score this line or burnish this line really good. There we go. Okay. And then I have already pre-cut some of my designer series paper. And this is just like a confetti pattern and really fun. And so I've got panels here for my card base. And I'm going to go ahead and get those glued up quickly. So I hope you guys are having a good day. It's really beautiful here today. We're at 64 degrees, so the temperature is just about perfect. It was actually a little chilly this morning. I think our temperature is going to go down tonight, pretty low. Not freezing low, but pretty low. But it'll be good sleeping weather. And I'm just trying to line that up as best I can. Scooch that up a bit on the top. There we go. And I'm just looking for an equal reveal around all the edges here. And the roses are in bloom. And my husband and my sons gave me some beautiful flowers for Mother's Day. I hope you all enjoyed a nice Mother's Day. So that was nice. My husband gave me a Calambrachia, which does really well here. It likes full sun and it likes our deck. So I'm looking forward to the blooms on that this summer. And my sons gave me a beautiful pink Impatient, which is the same color as the roses. So that is on a hook near the deck, so I can enjoy it and see it every day. And we'll get this panel in. You can see that panel wiggling a little bit, and that's why I like to use glue. That's why I like to use glue. Okay, I am going to do a little bit of stamping. And let me cap my glue here. Done with that here for a minute. But this is the inside panel. So this panel is going to get matted to a piece of blueberry bushel cardstock. And by the way, that is the color of the card base on my card today. I think that's a returning, I think that is a returning color, blueberry bushel. Or it's either a new color or a returning color. I just can't remember. Let me see here. It is a returning color, I believe, yeah. So this is my inside panel. And I want to go ahead and get my inside panel stamped so that I can mount it inside of the fun fold first. And you'll see why here in just a minute. The bunnies ate your begonias. Oh no. We have bunnies around, but our flowers, you know, mostly, they don't bother the flowers or the roses or anything around the deck. So I guess we're lucky at that. And the strawberries are netted, so hopefully they're not getting into the strawberries. The strawberries are just loaded with blossoms, and we've had a few ripe ones so far. But I just inked that up, and I didn't want to ink that up just yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me see here. I want the blueberry bushel ink. I know bunnies and deer can be quite destructive to gardens. So I'm using the sentiment, let's get our celebration on, and that's a curved sentiment. And I'm going to stamp that here on my inside panel, kind of at the top here, and try to get it centered if I can. Although with it being a curved sentiment, if it's a little off, I don't think it would matter. Yeah, we keep a net over the strawberries just because, like, the dogs love strawberries and they're out in the yard, and bunnies like strawberries, and I'm sure other critters as well. And now I'm going to get out my Lemon Lime Twist. This is also a returning color, and I'm really liking Lemon Lime Twist. Very bright green. And I'm going to stamp the balloon here just below the sentiment. And just give that a minute for the ink to transfer. And I don't know if you can see it, the ink looks a little blotchy. And that's because that stamp is pretty solid. But as that ink dries, it will all even out. It actually dries quite nicely. And then I'm going to bring in some smoky slate, and I'm going to stamp our little balloon string. And I'm going to stamp this off just once, just because I don't want it super dark on my inside panel. And that's just perfect. And let me keep this ink open. So that is our inside panel. Let me grab the envelope. I have a little bit of stamping to do in the envelope. And then I'll be done with the stamping. Yeah, the dogs love fruit. They like apples and oranges. They go nuts if you have an apple or an orange or strawberries. They just love them. I'm going to just, this is my envelope, and on the envelope front here in the lower corner, I'm just going to stamp off a couple of balloons in Lemon Lime Twist, and I'm going to overlap them. Just like that. And I can put Lemon Lime Twist away and grab the balloon string. And we'll put little strings here on our balloons. Just like that. And we are done with the stamping. So super easy card. Great fun fold. Bring my card base back in. And I'm going to go ahead and mount up this inside panel onto a blueberry bushel mat. That's a mouthful, blueberry bushel. And Lemon Lime Twist is too. Going to be meeting up with a girlfriend later this evening for dinner. I haven't seen her in a few weeks, so it'll be good to get out and see her. Now, this is the inside. This larger panel is the inside of our card. And so I want to adhere this right in the center. And I want it centered top to bottom and left to right. And I'm just going to center that as best I can. I always have to hold things kind of hold them up to make sure that I'm getting them even. There we go. Okay. And then this is going to be, I have another piece of DSP in a stripe pattern, and I'm going to also mount this to a piece of blueberry bushel, and this will be for our card front. The DSP in this suite is so much fun. The reverse side, or the B side that I like to call it, it can be used on a lot of different cards. If I think here in a minute when we get the card done, I'll show you what I mean. But, you know, just some very muted patterns that could be used pretty much on anything. So the reason that I put my inside panel in the card, adhered it inside the card first, is so that it can kind of help guide me to place this outside panel. Because the objective here is when the card is closed, that inside panel will be hidden by this outside panel, if that makes sense. And what I like to do, I have a little cheat here, but you know, because I could try to remember, but I don't count on my memory all the time, right? But I turned this panel upside down. I'm just going to make a mark where my first section of this fun fold stops. And that way I know I can only apply glue. I only want to apply glue on the left side of this panel. Otherwise, I would be gluing my card shut, and I don't want to do that. But that just ensures that I can get kind of right up to that line. Make sure I'm putting the right side down. And I am just going to line this panel up with that inside panel, just like that, so that it is hidden. And I think the first time I made this card, I did it the opposite. I did the inside panel last, and that was a little trickier, getting it lined up. So this is just much easier. Okay, so I did do a little bit of stamping and die cutting, only because I don't want to waste your time. You know, it's pretty standard stuff. But I have two large balloons here. This one is in Berry Burst. That's quickly becoming a favorite pink of mine. And this one's in Blueberry Bushel. And then I have a little balloon, and that's going to serve as our sentiment label. And I stamped "You Did It" in the center of the small balloon, which I love. This is really cute, I think. So just going to adhere these balloons kind of at the top of my card there, right about there. And I'm just using regular liquid glue to adhere these to my card front. And I'm letting those balloons just hang off the sides just a bit. You can see that it's overlapping just a tad on the left and right. Next, I want to take a glue dot and I am going to put a glue dot here right at the bottom of where my two balloons are meeting, right in the center there, and just put that down. And then I'm going to take some baker's twine, and I need to cut some little strings here for my balloon. So I'm just going to put one in the center and adhere it to that mini glue dot and just trim the end off. And then I'm going to put one here to the right and trim that off. And then I'm going to put one here on the left. So we have our little balloon strings hanging down. They'll hang down underneath the sentiment. There we go. And then we can put our little sentiment label on, if I can get a hold of it. And I'm going to put that sentiment label right there in the center. And I'll use Stampin' Dimensionals to adhere the balloon. To the card front. Oops. Some days I have luck taking off the covers on the Stampin' Dimensionals, and some days not so much. And then I'm just going to kind of spread out my little strings there a bit because they will be partially caught by those Stampin' Dimensionals that I put on the back of that sentiment label. But isn't that sweet? I just think that is so cute. And to finish off the card front, I've got some iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. I love the shimmer of these. And I'm just going to place a few of them around the card front. Get a big one here if I can get it to cooperate. There we go. But they add a little sparkle. Makes the card a little more festive. And let's put one up there. There we go. And that is it for the card. So super easy, super quick. All of the measurements Thank you, Akiko. Appreciate it. All of the measurements will be on my blog tomorrow, and this card is for the Happy Inkin' Thursday blog hop. So be sure to stop by my blog, inkybstampers.com, tomorrow, and I'll have links to all of the other blogs so you can get even more inspiration. But tomorrow is a theme challenge, and that was celebration. And when I saw the word celebration, I just immediately thought of the beautiful balloon set and the pretty paper that goes with that set. And I'll just get my DSP here adhered to my envelope flap. Yeah, I like the strings too, Faith. And we'll get this a quick trim, and we are done. So I hope everyone has had a chance to go through the new annual catalog. There are some really, really cute stamp sets, and some nice, and some carryovers as well. Some favorite carryovers. If you didn't look at my blog today, take a look, but I used the Let's Go Shopping bundle for my card on my blog today. And oh my gosh, I had so much fun building my little shop on my card front. It was a hoot. I was just having such a good time making that card yesterday. Okay, there we go. So be sure to check out the annual catalog if you haven't. But that is our card for today. Beautiful balloons bundle and the bright and beautiful 6x6 designer series paper. Oh, let me show you quickly. Now this pack is pretty picked over, but I'll just pull this out here real quick without all my scraps, going flying. But there's some just really, really cute paper in this pack. So the front sides are mostly, stripes and whatnot. And I can see my packs reversed. So the really graphic side is really the front side of the paper. But you'll see some, kind of variegated panels on the reverse side, which are really a lot of fun. And they can be used for, they make great backgrounds for scene building, if you're using a certain stamp set. But just really a lot of fun and some gorgeous colors. There's another variegated one in, I think, Lemon Lime Twist. So lots of great options in this paper pack. But I just wanted to, there's one, I think in Fresh Freesia. But you can see how muted they are. So, this isn't just for use with the beautiful balloon stamp set. And the colors in this paper are Azure Afternoon, Berry Burst, Blueberry Bushel, Bubble Bath, Fresh Freesia, Lemon Lime Twist, Lemon Lolly, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, and Pretty Peacock. So some really beautiful colors included. You have a long list of things that you want to get from the catalog. I know, Faith. I've gotten quite a bit so far, but yeah, there's still more. I'm making another list. I am definitely making another list. Oh my gosh. It's hard not to. With so many pretty things to choose from, it's hard not to. But anyway, I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. And I so appreciate you joining me. And I will see you next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Take care. Bye-bye.